Let's get the people what they want.
The Wade-O Radio Show.
T-Dot, I'm going to be real with you, bro. I feel like you had a very challenging, probably 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Just in a row, man. Like, how like going through all the things that you went through, bro. Like, how were you able to maintain, like, because, I mean, the thing is, you didn't really stop either.
Right.
Like, you kept doing music,
Right.
you kept touring, you kept being a husband and a father, like, all the things. Like,
man, I feel like I'm gonna make this point because I think it matters. I feel like I'm an artist for real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really a creative. Like, before I'm a entrepreneur, a businessman, before I'm a person who's a performer or someone out on stage, I'm a creative first. So to not create felt like not living. And there were seasons of my life where I was like, yo, I'm just kind of waiting to die. Like, that's how it felt.
Wow.
It's like, all right, man, I've gone through X, Y, Z, all the way back around from A to Z again. It's like, yo, I'm tired of this. So I'm just kind of waiting to die. I'm like, it's just what it is. And then I woke up, bruh, and I was like, I don't have to do that. I don't have to just wait for the end. There's still purpose here. And even though you believe that what you are matters, it's a difference when you accept it. I don't know, it's something interesting. It's like, okay, so I know anybody struggling with just waiting to give up or wanting to give up, you miss the fact, even the pull to want to do something, to keep going, to talk through something, to build something, it's still there, but it's being overshadowed by this desire to just want to quit. And once that shadow got moved a little, I was like, I've always cared. It just wasn't looking like I wanted it to look, so I didn't know any other option until God just showed up and flipped the switch.
that's what I was going to say, bro. Like, what made you not quit? Like, most people, if they went through half the stuff you went through, they quitting.
Man, I think first and foremost, I really did hold on to the fact that I'm like, God, you did it before you can do it again. You did it before you can do it again.
Come on.
You did it before you can do it again. Like, I held on to that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just this like super spiritual, God, you are gonna do it, in a sense of like, I'm just laid out worshiping every day. But it was more of like, when the rubber met the road, I've seen him do too much. So I'm like, it don't make sense. The math ain't mathing. Like, you done it before. I've seen you do it before.
Yeah.
And I get it. I don't make light of the fact for myself or anybody who loses a child, loses siblings, who loses multiple relatives, but then on top of that goes through the accident that I had, the hardship through that.
Right.
Like, all these things that happen where you're like, man, this is enough for me to want to quit, but I've seen you do it before.
But it was like back to back to back to back to, like,
Yeah.
it just never slowed down.
Bro, and it still ain't slowing down, like, sincerely. But like I said, the difference was he opened up my eyes and showed me like, oh, I'm still here. So if I'm still here, there's something left to do.
Sure.
Once I grabbed hold of the idea that there was something left to do, because when you do, I often think about athletes who play a game their entire life and then retire. And it's like, the thing I went, like, bro, you got to understand, it'd be 5-year-olds dreaming to get to the league.
Right.
And then they
Facts.
get there, and it's like this dream I've had since I was 5, it's over now, and I'm 33, I'm 34, 35. Some of them maybe like a LeBron, but no. Vince Carter, LeBron James, Kyle Korver, all these cats that played.
Chris Paul.
Right. All of them cats, man, it's like, yo, those are anomalies.
Right.
Most folks, It's like, oh, well, this brother played till he was 33.
Yeah.
But 33 is still so young
It's
comparatively.
very young. It's very young.
But again, this massive thing, you did it already. What else is there? And so you don't know. You kind of think like, maybe this is it. What do I do now? And for anybody who felt that and then also lived in this state of depression, generalized anxiety, PTSD, like when you're living with all these different issues mentally and emotionally, and then you realize, you look up and I'm like, I toured. I've shared with thousands of people. I've toured in front of thousands of people. I've traveled to every state in the U.S. rapping. I've been overseas. Yeah. I've been overseas doing this.
Yeah.
I did the thing. Like, I guess now I just wait to die. I don't know. And depression, loss, pain, suffering, all that weigh on you so much. You like, yeah, that's the next step, right? I just wait. And one day it clicked, like, now you still here, so you got something to do. So I was like, okay, all right, to live is Christ. What am I supposed to be doing? And throughout it all, creativity was cathartic for me. If I wasn't creating, I probably would have been worse off. Like, I had a chance to express it in a real way.
Yeah.
And the fans were gracious enough to let me pour my heart out to them in a real way as an artist as I went through it all. So I'm building, bro.
When did you first really realize I'm a creative?
Probably when I was in elementary school.
Really?
To be honest. Yeah. I grew up writing short stories, writing poems. I grew up being the kid that was going, like, it wasn't, like, you know, we all, I won't say we all, some of us had those mamas who, when company come over, you got to come do the thing, whatever that is. Do the Michael Jackson dance. Do the dance like. You already know what I'm talking about. You laughing?
Hey, I'm laughing. Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. I used to make my kids do it.
See? You the culprit. You the one.
I used to make my kids
do the Michael Jackson. Do the little Chris Brown dance. Do the Chris Brown dance you do. Like, we telling people to do stuff, and we try to turn every kid into a performer.
My oldest son is gonna give you a hug when he
He like, we gonna bond together.
Right.
We gonna bond. We both went through this hardship together. Bro, I'm telling you, parents turn every kid into a performer for their entertainment, for the folk that's visiting, and then pretty soon you like, I don't like this. You crying, you mad, But my mama would do it with anything, because she just knew, like, hey, show them that karate move you learned.
Yeah.
Hey, tell them about that book you read. I'm like, what? I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do it.
But I will say, I was the kid, when she said, show him the Michael Jackson dance, she'd have to eventually say, go sit down. But like, you done it now. That's enough. Like, I was that kid. Even though a little bitty, I didn't want to do it. Eventually, I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm moving. I'm going with it. What we doing? And my mom was like, that's enough now. We got to shut you down because you don't know when to quit. So I just knew at a young age, like, I'm a creative. Now, I will say, being a creative, bruh, it's not glamorous.
Yeah.
Without the notoriety, it's not glamorous.
Sure.
Nobody's celebrating that.
Yep.
Like, when I grew up saying, listen, bro, the statistical likelihood that you're going to go to play a professional sport is so low.
So low. You don't realize it as a kid, though.
But people, because of the accessibility into the ease that you have to have an on-ramp into sports, because it exists so easily for people, no one argues that from that logical standpoint.
Right.
What you want to do? You want to play football? Oh, yeah, go ahead. You can play Pee-wee. You can play, since 4 years old, you can play football.
Yep.
You can play Pee-wee. You can play junior high. You can play high school, Pop Warner. You can do all of that. You can go to college. I don't see anything like that for the arts. So for a person to say, I want to be an artist of any kind, it's like, boy, you better go get a real job.
Facts.
What's wrong with you?
Facts.
Now, no one's going to say, you know how many people make it to the league? Boy, you better go get a real job.
Right.
Maybe some people say that, but the vast majority of people support the dream. Hey, go out there and hoop. Hey, go out there and get on the court. You better get to practice. You better start practicing. What else you need? I'm going to get you a trainer. Or we're going to take you to this league. We're going to take you to this camp. Like, there's so many ways to easily on-ramp into athletics. But art is another thing.
Yeah.
So for me, art was not as celebrated as athletics. So it was an easy on-ramp to just go play football. So eventually football kind of overshadowed art for me.
Well, here's the interesting thing about you. I've always marveled at this about you because of how good an artist, how prolific a songwriter you are, like all the things, performer, your like, stage show is crazy. You were a reluctant rapper in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, you weren't like 10 years old after you was doing the Michael Jackson dance like, yo, I want to be a rap star. I want to be LL Cool J. I want to be KRS-One. I want to be Chuck D.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know.
Bro, I had no... you grow up in your room. You grow up as a kid, and in your room, you got all this stuff, posters on your wall. I ain't had none of that. I had no rappers on my wall.
Who was on the wall?
No musicians, bro. I had Lawrence Taylor, who played for the Giants. I had a poster of Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
I had a poster of Steve Young.
Oh, so you was all sports.
I was all sports,
Yeah.
and I was sports, but I was still a nerd, low key.
Yeah.
So I had all sports. I had a Lamborghini on the wall.
Of course.
Of course. I had a Lamborghini on the wall. I had the Wings poster of Jordan with his wingspan out.
Yep.
And then I had magazine pages that I hung up of different news journalists.
Wow.
Because I loved, I don't know, man, it was something about, I was like, if you can get paid just to talk, like they just gonna pay you to sit here and talk. So I was in love with Ted Koppel, Walter Cronkite, Connie Chung, Dan Rather, even Tavis Smiley. I know for some people that's a rough one.
Yeah.
But like even Tavis Smiley, I was a fan.
But back
of all
then
these back then it was like, yo, this is the man.
Yeah.
And he was one of the few black men involved in that space.
Yep.
So I was a fan. So I grew up like that, but football really did kind of overshadow everything, man. And I just kind of leaned into it. But still, music was always at the core. Like LL made that song, I Can't Live Without My Radio, and that was so it spoke to my soul.
That was the soundtrack.
That's who I was.
Yeah.
I don't care what I was doing. I can't live without the music.
Wow.
I couldn't work out without the music. I couldn't study without the music.
Wow.
I couldn't go hang out with friends without the music.
Wow.
Like it was, I'm not gonna ride in my car and be quiet. I got to turn on music. Like it was a part of who I was.
And then you went and played football in college, right? Mm-hmm. Rice, he was at
Baylor.
No, Baylor.
My wife went to Rice.
Okay.
My wife went to Rice.
Okay. I knew Rice was in there somewhere.
Yeah. No, she went to Rice.
Yeah,
And my wife actually went to school at the same time as Von Juan.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they knew each other.
That's
like
crazy.
I remember I was like, hey, I need to go see my homeboy. We gonna hook up later. His name is Von Juan. She's like, from Rice? And I didn't know he went to Rice.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to Rice.
Because he played football there too. Yeah.
She was like, from Rice? I was like, I don't know. I doubt it. I don't know. Because me seeing him, I'm like, nah, it's
only one Von Juan. It's only one. It's only one.
Like it's only one Tedashii. It's only one Von Juan.
Yep.
That's him. So yeah. So anyway, she went to Rice.
Yeah. So you played football at Baylor. You weren't getting into music stuff there though. You were
not until I stopped playing ball.
Okay.
So for me, I went to college. I had a lot of D2 scholarships.
Yep.
I had one or two D1 scholarships. But
Baylor's a pretty big deal though.
Well, now.
Yeah.
When I went there, it wasn't. No. Just being honest. I could lie and just be like, yeah, he was killing. No. There was great athletes there.
Yeah.
But not till RG3. Not till RG3.
I'm with you.
Did Baylor really pop up like it did. But regardless, I went there. I walked onto the football to the track team first.
Okay.
I threw shot put and discus,
okay,
javelin, hammer. So I did that. And then once the coach was like, "Oh, you can get us points. We want you on the track squad." Once I did that, and that was during the time of Michael Johnson when he was training for the Olympics. Coach Hart was there. Coach Hart was the one training Michael Johnson for the Olympics. He trained so many different Olympic athletes. So it was an honor to be a part of that. Actually, at the time, track was bigger than football at Baylor.
Well, if Michael Johnson was there.
So. There's a story. Michael Johnson came to the school, and we were all training, and coach was like, y'all have a seat. I want to introduce y'all to somebody. This is Michael Johnson. And we like, yo. We're all dapping him up. We hype. And then at that time, he was getting ready to train. So coach said, we're going to let y'all watch him train a little bit. So we super excited. And so Michael Johnson takes off his shoes, sits down, laces up some brand new shoes from Nike, the gold joints. Laces them up. He gets on the track. He started running. He sprints the first 400 for time. He comes around the corner, and as he hits that last curve, he slows up. And coach is like, oh, no. And, you know, the way he moved, it looked like he tweaked something. So we was like, what is happening? He got back to the start line, and we waiting to see what's going on. Michael took the shoe off, held it up. It was a hole in the bottom of the shoe because the track was hot and he was moving so fast.
Wow.
So he had to tell Nike, we need the bottom of the shoe thicker.
Bruh.
We lost our minds, bro.
That's crazy.
We some teenagers. We lost our mind. We was like, this dude is the Flash. This dude is the Flash. Like, we was losing our mind, bro. But like Baylor was known for track, but I walked into the football team eventually. But I eventually got hurt. So getting injured, I found out I had scoliosis. So living with that is its own journey. But at the time, because I was injured, I wasn't going to class. So I was just sitting in my room, and me and my homeboys would all start freestyling.
Yeah.
And they would want to go, like, freestyling was like that. It was like that hood moment of notoriety.
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah, you make the beat.
Yeah.
But if somebody can flow, then it's like, oh, we respect you.
Yeah.
All right, you got clout. So we started freestyling. And pretty soon, bro, like if I believe it's true, but if Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule is true, I got my 10,000 hours while I was at Baylor.
Just from freestyling.
Just from freestyling.
That's crazy.
Just from freestyling, bro. Because it was not just making up rhymes like came through the door. It's about 4. You know, like it wasn't that. Going to the store.
Yeah.
But it was a legitimate freestyling and having to have something to say. Yeah. And in a moment's notice, throw in stuff in the room. And then eventually it was like, I want to be impressive, so let me do something impressive for the people here now.
Sure.
Bruh, it was amazing. So I got my 10,000 hours then.
Off the freestyle.
Off the freestyles, bro.
Thanks for tapping in, family. Please consider joining our Patreon community. 1, you'll get the rest of this interview, but 2, you'll be the first to know when we drop new content. Your support on Patreon really helps us continue to make this content and not have to rely on things like the YouTube algorithm, which can be extremely fickle. So we really appreciate you tapping in and joining us over on Patreon. The link is below. You can click it. We have a bunch of different tiers. A lot of really cool bonus features that you get depending on what tier you join. And you can basically decide to join at whatever level is comfortable for you. As always, thank you so much for your support, and I'll check you guys next video.